Hi there, and thank you so much for dropping by. So I am Julie, and I am from warriorsheart.dk, and I'm from Denmark. I'm a body and behavioral transformation expert, and I'm also a intuitive mentor. So I'm just gonna push you a little bit away. So there's a little distance between us, it's Corona times. So how are you doing today? I was sitting here by the screen. I was gonna interview a gorgeous lady from Mexico, I think she was from, in regards to love and relationship. And we two women, we didn't count the time correct. So I'm just sitting here waiting, and I thought about making a video to you. And for a couple of years, I wanted to share messages about love and relationship and attachment styles and behavior and femininity and masculinity and also sensitivity. But I want to be honest with you because I don't like all the tips which is out there that says, as a woman, 5 tips, 5 things that you can do to make a man fall for you, 5 steps to be truly attractive, 7 things to do with your mouth to make a man fall for you, 7 things to do to impress a guy or make him fall for you instantly. I actually hate them. Why? Because they make me feel bad, even though I don't feel bad about myself every day. So getting these emails in my inbox and seeing them on, and I need to see if it's her, the one I was going to interview. No. So when I go on YouTube, all these videos says what you need to do to be attractive, what you need to do to look good, what you need to do or be or act and look like in order to achieve this with the opposite sex. I hate them because I'm truly sensitive, which is one of my expertise areas, sensitivity handling expert. So stay tuned. I'm going to talk about love and relate in a minute, but let me just give you the topic of this video. I find the dating market, the dating apps, dating men extremely difficult. And I'll tell you why now. I'm sensitive. I'm truly aware. I've been working on myself for more than 15 years. I have a bullshit detector filter as a body behavioral transformation expert, which I've worked with for 15 years. And I'm aware, which means I would not go around with my guns. I used to be in the army for 10 years, actually, as a lance corporal. So when I go out there into the world, I see men, they're not aware, they're not there. And the same goes probably for women too, but the men aren't there. They're in their own space, in their own thoughts. They can only see themselves. They can't feel anything. It's kind of like if they shut down. And I know that many women have done that too. So I find the dating world extremely hard, because I'm not just sensitive, I'm not just spiritual too, I'm aware, I'm self-confident, I'm successful with what I do. I feel quite confident within myself. And one day when I was on Tinder, a guy wrote, "Oh, you're so beautiful." I know, but it doesn't mean that I've got it all up here, but I know that I'm pretty. And most women do, but I'm not one of those women who, "Oh, I need a compliment. Give me one, give me more attention." I am not attention seeking. And giving a lady, a woman who knows herself and her worth and her value a compliment, no, not just a compliment, but oh my God. Being truly obsessed with how I look is so shallow, and I don't like it. And I know I'm not the only one. It's not, when I walk around the street, I don't need the compliments. Quite the opposite, because I'm an introvert. And I know many women out there, and men are too, the men who has the big hearts. But So I wrote this man, it's not a compliment that you're telling me how beautiful I am, because what makes me, I'm not just a human, sorry, I'm not just a woman, I'm a human being. I have emotions and feelings and thoughts, and I'd rather you see me here in my heart. So this guy wrote back to me, oh, so you think you're pretty? And I'm like, is there something wrong with feeling good about yourself and content with how you look? Should I then blame all the women who's desperate for attention, like some men are too? I have to be honest, I find it truly difficult. And I haven't, also as a love coach myself, I haven't found my true message yet, because I do not want to share with you 10 things for you to do to make the other sex fall for you. 7 things to do that will make you feel attractive, or not just feel attractive, but be attractive. What the fuck? I think most people who, oh, that wasn't the idea. I had that around my waist. So I think that most people out there who attends and care for themselves and cares about how they look, like me, I'm only wearing mascara, and I believe that most people are beautiful when they're natural, and some women might need to brush their hair or dye or color their hair, or some men look amazing without even being without even having shaved themselves. So they look cool the way that they do, but some men need to shave in order to look better. And some of we women, when we wear lipstick, we look 10 times more gorgeous, or someone might need a little bit of rouge. I'm not a makeup girl myself. I don't think I need it, and I don't want it, because I work within the health industry. So if there's something, I'll fix it from within with my nutrition. And what I'm saying is that if you have to do 10 things in order for someone to see you as being attractive, I'm not going to give it to you. Out with them. If we can't be who we are when we go on a date, we're not with the right person. And we've heard it again and again throughout the years from the dating coaches, especially the more experienced ones, that because the new ones tell you to do a lot of games in order to make a good impression. I don't like games. Can you hear my chair? Oh, fuck. I'm going to change the chair so you can't hear that noise. 1 second. I'm still here. I'm going to take this crappy chair and move the other one. So stay put. And I'm going to tilt that a little bit so you can see me better. So the new dating guys and gents, the ladies and men out there who's telling you how to date, how to look, how to appear, how to approach other people, they're telling you to do a lot of crappy stuff, because they're telling you to play games and pretend to be something that you're not. So you're kind of like being awkward on the date. And actually, most women doesn't know that when a man is awkward, it's because he likes you and he's nervous, which we can be too, and we can cover up. Some does it with makeup. So ladies, don't ditch a guy just because he's awkward. It might be because he likes you. So the more experienced dating coaches and relationship experts out there say, you can never do something wrong when you're with the right person. But I also want to say something else to you, because we're in a time where more and more people are waking up, and more people are realizing that they're extremely sensitive. And I'm going to see. Yeah, oh, I think that helped. So another thing is, before I move on, I'm quite down to earth. I don't like fancy stuff and all this music and a lot of makeup and all these things behind me. I'm what you see is what you get. I'm quite straightforward. So this is what it is. Welcome to my home studio, because this is how I like to make a video. I don't want to take a video, send it to someone, wait 3 hours or 5 days for them to edit it and put it back to me. So what you see is what you get, and I hope you like it, because it's also about the message. So this is the life of being a sensitive person. We are who we are, and in these times, many people are waking up, realizing that they're sensitive, and dating someone who's sensitive, out of balance, oh my fucking God, I hate it. So I've been on a couple of dates with gorgeous men, and I went on a date with a man who I met him on Tinder, and we were gonna go to somewhere in the forest and just relax and enjoy a little picnic, because I made homemade buns and I brought cheese and stuff like that. So I was standing there with the newly baked warm buns, and I took them out and I said, "Here is some lactose-free cheese." And he's like, "So you're lactose intolerant?" And the thing is, it wasn't the first question he asked like a statement where he assumed something. So I looked at him and I said, "Do I have to? Can't I just buy it like that?" And because he kept doing things like that, making a statement, it wasn't a question, it was a statement, and he was assuming things. I initially said to him, "Do you know what? It doesn't feel good that when I say something, you have to comment it. And when I say something, you're making a statement or you're putting it into something. Can't you just listen," which is called active listening, instead of interrupting or having an opinion about it? Can't we just exchange energies or exchange experiences? And he didn't even know what I was talking about. And even though I said it in the most feminine, soft, and gentle, and not accusing tone, I'm spitting, he kind of like shut down. And I said, "I have to be I'm going to be real with you and say that we're not a match, because I want a man who's more calm and centered within himself, so he doesn't feel that he has to give me his opinion all the time or interrupt," which this guy also did. So one day I was talking to another guy on Tinder, and I said to myself, "I'm going to do this. I'm going to call him up first, because if we can talk on the phone, we might be able to talk better when we meet out there in the physical world." And when we talked, he interrupted me many times, and I said, "Oh, can I please finish my sentences? That would be nice." And then at one point I told about a friend I have who has cancer and she might die from it. And he went in there and he became so defensive and talked about his sister and told me how to act and behave. And I was like, "What did you just do there?" I said to him. "What did you just do? Except from interrupting me, you're also telling me how to act around someone who has cancer based on your experience. Can't I just be myself in this conversation and share my stuff with you?" And of course, that conversation didn't went well. And at another time, I was talking to another guy, and I could feel that he was extremely sensitive, just like myself too. And this guy interrupted me too. And I do not have a tendency of interrupting, but that is what the sensitive person who is imbalanced do. When someone is not aware of themselves, they interrupt. They make assumptions. They will even raise their voice to make sure to keep the conversation here with them, and to make sure that they're taking all the energy instead of exchanging energy like the digit 8. It goes like that. We share, we engage, we care. So this guy interrupted me as well, and when I told him something, he again, like many other men, made assumptions, and he wasn't quite nice in that conversation. And I said, "Can I ask you something? Can you hear that something in our conversation is not going quite well?" And he said, and he also talked about going to therapy because he was an adopted child. And I said, "Could it have something to do with you being adopted and you don't always feel adequate," which I truly respect and I don't have a problem with. And he said, "Yeah, I can feel it too. This isn't working." So what I'm also saying is because I wanted to talk to you about this topic for a while. If you have severe anxiety, a mental disorder, are truly fucked up because of divorce or feeling bad or inadequate or something, are you stressed, being burned out, or even having PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which I used to have because I had a rough childhood and I was 10 years in the army and I faced death 7 times. If you're in that category, also having a mental disease, being borderline or something like that, you shouldn't be dating, because you're putting so much responsibility onto another person. So let's say when I go on a date, of course I have some responsibility to making sure that we are a match, and that's why I sometimes have the conversation with a guy before even meeting him to make sure that we don't have all these. It's called. One second, I'm going to drink my lemon drink. It's called crossing transactions, where you can talk to each other as if you were a child. You can talk to each other as if you were an adult and as a parent. And that is about communicating at the same level, but we can't change. So it's the child talking to the parent, or it's the parent talking to the adult. That we can't do it like that. Cheers, lemon and honey. Sorry. So the other day, I went on a physical date with a gorgeous man, and I knew that this man would be sensitive too, to some degree, because I know because I know from his Tinder profile that he liked reading out loud poems. That was it. He was a poet, and I like that. I did see that he was a little bit of a how do you say that? A little bit. I can't describe it, but some women would know what it means when he's a little bit. I like myself a little too much, which I don't have that myself. I'm just content and happy and have nothing to complain about. It doesn't mean that I get it. It's up to my head, but I didn't care about the fact, because I just knew I was going to go on a date with a great guy. So we go out there and I can see he's all flaky with his eyes, and he says, "Haven't you seen my message in Tinder?" And I said, "No, I've been on my bike going here." And he said, "Well, I'm very, very nervous. I'm extremely nervous." And I said, "Just calm." I said to myself, I said very calmly, "That's fine. So why are you nervous? It's okay. I can be nervous too." And he said, "Because I'm a sex recovering addict." And even though I was fine with that, my subconscious self felt that here is a man that isn't capable of making me safe. So I have to compensate and help him feel safe. Actually, the date went quite well, even though he interrupted me a lot and had an opinion about everything. And when I talked about something, he would say, "Yeah, me too, I know that," instead of just actively listening. And when I went home, I wrote to this guy, "I would love to see you again, but I do not want to be a part of your universe where you're going to take me as a woman and think about," yeah, it's the cloth from the kitchen because I could spill. So I said to him, "I'm not going to be Shuli, which is my name, put into your brain, and you have to think about, do you like me or do you not like me? Do you want to see me again?" So I said, "Please take me out of your inner universe, which is quite complex, and don't think about whether I'm the right one for you again, if you want to see me or not. I'm gonna let completely go, and if you want to get a cup of coffee one day, it's fine. But don't put it into your system and put me on a weight scale and this and that, because I don't like that." And I knew he knew what I said, because he's a great thinker, and I don't like it. I don't like all the games. When you and I go on a date, just play with me. When you and I go on a date, we can quite quickly feel, is it going good? And when we are done dating after 1 hour or 2 or 3 or 4 hours, we know that we want to see each other again. Most of us do. And putting something into us, someone into a system and going, was he or she kind, or was he or she bad? And then, first of all, not getting back to the other part who's waiting at the other end, and taking the power and the control of another over another human being. I don't like that. And also, I am so sensitive. So when someone is thinking about me, I can feel it because I am a psychic and I've been like that my whole life. So sometimes I would also have to say to my friends, stop thinking about me. I can feel it. Part of this is at some point I became mad too. I actually did. Oh, sad. I became both mad and sad about the fact that a man who is so imbalanced is a sex recovering addict who shouldn't be on the dating market because he feels anxious around women, which his subconscious self is saying to, I just want to fuck her. You shouldn't be on the dating market. It's unfair to other people, whether you're a man or a woman. It's not fair to put all your bullshit, all your insecurities, your anxiousness, and everything onto other people. And you shouldn't be dating. I shouldn't have been dating back in the days when I had PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and was burned out. We shouldn't even go on. Look at the light over there. It looks funny. It's a little blurry. Ew, we got magic in the room. Some days you and I aren't our normal, happy, content, or even loving self. And we shouldn't go on the dating apps. Because the dating life, and men or women, I don't know who or what you're dating, but it's not up to someone else to make us feel good. So let's say you're in a relationship and your partner is acting like a shithead, is like an ass, and you break because of it. It's not him or her who's the problem, it's you who crumble and breaks when something isn't living up to your standards of what's a relationship supposed to be like. Does that make sense? Let's say you and I go on a date. I feel quite okay with myself. I'm happy. I feel free. I feel content. I can still be better because I'm still recovering from my sessions with Dr. Gary Saller, my love coach. But the thing is with you, so if you're here too, we've got 100 and 100. But the thing is, you got low self-esteem. You feel anxious and insecure. You don't believe in yourself. You don't find yourself worthy of living a good life. So when we meet each other, I'm 100. I'm coming with 100%, 100 something. And you're getting in there with 30 or 40, and you're making me compensate. Like the guy who I went on a date with. Remember what I said? When I went on a guy with this guy who said, I'm extremely anxious, I'm a sex recovering addict, and I'm going through this 12-step thing, and I haven't had sex in 2 years or something like that. He's putting quite a lot of effort and responsibility on me. So my subconscious self, what did she say? She said, here's a man who can't make me feel safe. And I can't completely trust where his thoughts are going because I noticed his eyes during our date that he went like that. And I don't like it. It's rude. Even though you guys are very visual, it's rude to stare at a woman. It's rude to give her the elevator look and look at us like a piece of flesh. And that's why it's also hard to date being a deep and aware and spiritual woman, because we do not want to be approached as a piece of meat. We don't want to be raped by hungry men. We don't want to be treated as one of the guys. We want to be treated as a queen. Not a queen in a bad way, but we want you guys to be a king so that we can meet a king and queens. And that's why I don't like the dating life and the dating world out there, because many dating coaches says you have to play a game, you have to play something you're not. You have to fake it until you make it. I hate it. I don't like it. So my subconscious self went, I can't trust this man. I have to overcompensate because he doesn't feel adequate and calm. So I have to make him calm. So I couldn't be my strong and confident self where we would have conversations that would challenge each other and we would make fun with one another because he was caught up in his own emotional world within him. So I've shared this video now. I'm going to end it. And it was about, I find it hard. And would you do me the great honor of letting me know what you find hard out there? Because there's many, sorry. There are many great dating coaches out there. But you have to do this to look attractive. You have to do this for a man to find you interesting. You have to do this and you have to do this. I don't like it. What I prefer is to go on a date and we say, this is what you see is what you get. And it's also up to you about, let me just mention one thing. I know a man who's gorgeous and successful and quite a aware, awakened man. But you know what? He's so miserable because his wife has anxiety and can never go out. And it's a struggle for him and the family every single day. And I actually want to ask him, why would you marry a woman who is anxious to such a degree that you can never go out and you never feel happy in your own home and you can't sleep safely during the night because your wife is not doing good or feeling good? I don't think it's fair. So am I saying that every one of you out there who's challenging shouldn't have a partner? No. We all deserve love. But if you're struggling with something, fix it. It's not up to your partner. It's not your partner's responsibility. And your problems shouldn't become the other partner's problems. 12 years ago, I was sitting at a gathering with other holistic therapists like myself. And this woman was sitting there and she was a therapist and she said, I can't have it. My husband is drinking. I can't have it. It's too much. And I said, can I ask a question? And she said, sure. I said, was your man an alcoholic the day that you met each other? And she said, yeah. And I said, for how many years have you been married? She said, 25. So I said, you married your husband for better or worse. You knew at that time that he was an alcoholic. You can't come up now, 25 years later, and say, change. It's up to you. Either you accept it or you leave him. But the thing is, we're in 2020. 2020 is about waking up. It's about taking responsibility. It's about finding a new way to live, act, be, feel, and be in the world, and come together also. What worked what didn't work yesterday doesn't work today. It's almost like that because the energies are changing so so quickly. We're in 2020, which is a year about balance. And if I go on a date and I'm not at my best, I will tell this guy and say, hey, please bear with me. I might be a little anxious. But if I was dealing with some great shit, I wouldn't put it onto him, but I wouldn't even put myself out there until I felt good about myself. Because many people think, okay, I have all these disorders, an eating disorder, I feel sad and miserable, I have anxiety. Okay, when I meet a partner, it's going to be good. But no, it's not, because you're going to pull him or her down too, and that's not fair. Who's that who said those words? Relationships aren't fair. I don't know if it's Matt Boggs or Carol Allen, but I liked it. And I don't know if it was Matthew Hussey, but one of them said, relationships aren't fair. I agree with that. That's so true. But it's not fair that you show up with another person with all your shit going on and you have nothing to offer the other partner. You have nothing to give to them or help them. Quite the contrary, you will pull them down with you. That's not fair. So please wake up. Please take responsibility. Own your shit. see a male coach, a male therapist, I didn't mean that psychic, I'm a psychic, but that doesn't help because a psychic can't give you tools. I can because I have all these teachings, regression therapy, body behavioral transformation, etc. Take responsibility, own your shit and work on it. And don't go out dating when you're when you're fucked up. And don't accept having an eating disorder or an autoimmune disease or PTSD or being anxious or chronic fatigueness or something like that, because nothing is permanent. I used to have chronic pain. I used to have 2 eating disorders. I used to have arthritis. I used to have a ton of allergies. I used to have PTSD and a fucked up brain. It's all gone. Because I don't accept anything, or I don't deal, how do you say that? Oh, I won't put up with it. I'll fix it. So please make sure that you're ready for a partner. So many guys out there, so many of you gorgeous women and men out there are getting a divorce, and instantly you're gonna go out there and try to date just to fulfill your own fucking needs, which is so selfish. Stop that. Stop being so selfish. Stop being so caught up in your own world, which I have been too when I was fucked up and imbalanced. It's okay to be fucked up. I don't want to blame you in any way or put you down. Just fix it, please. Imagine what you're putting your kids through. Imagine what you and I went through that made us who we are today. In many ways, please fix yourself so you can help your children. Many of us have had a rough childhood, especially when we're a deep, sensitive, aware soul. Some of us have had quite a difficult childhood with no protection, no love, no support, no nothing. And it's so unfair that we're projecting this, both putting that onto our children, but also other people and our partner, and even ourselves. We have to deal with it. Nothing is permanent. I've had, my challenges were chronic too, and the doctor said, you have to accept it. And I said, hell no. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me that I won't be able to stretch my right arm, even though it looks like that, and both my knees, my hips too. Nothing is permanent. And if you have that attitude, you cannot say that you're spiritual or aware. Everything is possible. So I'm going to wrap up this video. So would you do me a favor? Would you let me know which topic that you would be interested in me talking about? Remember, it has to do with men and women, not just relationship, but about partnership, not dating too. Did you like this video? Be kind to me. Be kind to me, like you should be kind to yourself and everyone else. Did this video resonate with you? Because for 3 years, I wanted to share videos like this, but I couldn't find my topic. And you might inspire me to choose a specific topic that is the one I want to talk about. And maybe it just talks about this. So let me know what you think and what will interest you even more. And thank you so much for being here today. I am Jolie Johansson, an intuitive mentor and body behavioral transformation expert. I've got warriorsheart.tk, and I can't wait to see you again. Namaste.